What?
Ready whenever you are. Are you good?
You what, mate? Yeah.
All right. What is
Yeah,
up,
I'm ready to
ladies
go.
and gentlemen? It's your boy MumboElite back at it again with another Elite Army podcast. This time we are joined with a close friend, close moderator, and a longtime supporter, Argus. What's up, buddy?
Yeah. What's good?
Anything you would like to
What's up,
introduce
everybody?
about yourself or get started?
Uh, well, I'm sure most people have at least seen me around in the chat before, but I'm Argus. Hello. Basically, I don't know. Everyone calls you Dad, so like, I guess does that make me stream Grandpa or something? I don't know.
Probably something along those lines. I just realized something. You've been on the channel since we've been playing Black Ops 3. We'll talk a little bit about like how you first found the channel in a little bit after we get to know you a little bit more. But like I was just thinking, all the hours you've spent in the stream, all the countless like months, even years that gone by, I don't think I've ever heard your voice until now. I'm trying to think if there was a time I would have heard it. Like I was
I
trying to
don't
picture
think
what your
so.
voice would sound like.
I've attempted multiple times, but it just never worked out.
Yeah, but it's like the crazy thing is this is weird because this is exactly I feel like how you would sound. Like I almost got it right in my head. I know exactly how it'd be,
Yeah.
but pretty dang close. All right, let's
I sound a
go.
lot like my older brother, actually.
Yeah.
Apparently, if we're both in the same house at the same time, like people have to ask which one of us it is when we pick
Jeez.
up the phone.
I do you is your brother your only sibling or do you have more siblings?
He's my only like blood related sibling, but I also have a stepbrother and a stepsister, both of whom are younger than me.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna
Although
say
they're both adults now.
like growing up with siblings compared to people who don't grow up with siblings, I feel like there's things that people with siblings go through that people who are only child just have no idea what it's about. And one of the ones I think of, nowadays it's a little bit different, but like as a kid, there was no like, oh, guys can't hit girls. When we were like young, my sister and I would brawl. Like I didn't care if she was my sister. We went at it. And we would do the little not take football games, but you would take like the pillow cushions on the couch. You would like put them down, and we would
Yeah.
get on our knees, and like the ends of the couch were like the end zones, and you had to like get to the other side, and we would hit each other like super hard. Like we didn't care at all. It was crazy. Do you have any like?
Ah, who cares if we get a black eye smack?
I was gonna say, do you have any like crazy sibling stories or like any instances growing up? It doesn't even have to be siblings, just crazy things that happened when you're younger.
Um, well, my brother is actually like super, super tame, which,
Yeah.
to be honest, was like a real blessing. Because, I mean, I was pretty tame myself in a lot of ways, but in a lot of other ways, I wasn't. It was nice having that space,
Yeah.
and not getting punched in the face. Um, let's see here, crazy stories. I mean, there's all sorts of crazy shit that happened. But, oh crap, this is supposed to go on YouTube. Should I like?
No, you can swear. It doesn't matter. It's
doesn't
not like
matter.
YouTube
They're
gets us anything
demonetizing
anyways.
anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're demonetizing anyways. Well, I guess I could tell you about one of the times I almost died.
Oh, okay.
I was living in southern Arizona at the time, and sorry if I sound a little shaky. I'm kind of nervous.
Well, that's fine.
But I was actually in the Boy Scouts at the time. I was like 12 years old, 11 years old, somewhere in there, and we were just camping out in the middle of the mountains in the desert, as you do,
Yeah.
and they would pretty much just let us roam free. We'd show up, we'd set up camp, they'd say, "Go, have fun." Well, this particular time, the fun happened to include rock climbing without any equipment
Oh gosh.
whatsoever. And yeah. I mean, everybody else was totally into it, but I was like, I don't know if this is such a good idea, guys. That cliff's like 100 feet tall, and we don't have any equipment, and none of us have any experience. Maybe this isn't a good idea. Everyone else is like, oh no, let's do it. So you know how peer pressure goes
Yep.
when you're like in middle
Yep.
school. Like, oh well, everyone else is going up the fucking cliff. I guess I'm going up the dang cliff. So I started climbing the cliff, and I got, I'd say, about 10 feet from the top, and my handhold slipped out, and that for some reason caused both of my feet to slip out also. So I was hanging by
Jeez.
one arm, and just like turned around completely, and was dangling by one arm from just one single little handhold. And I remember looking down at the ground, and that's the last thing I remember. And it was just blackout from that point. The next thing I remember, I was on top of the cliff. I don't know how I got up there. I don't even remember it. But I made it to the top somehow, and I didn't die.
Jeez.
So there's that one.
That's crazy.
That's probably the craziest one, but there's plenty of other stuff that happened.
That like
I keep
that's
talking too much, probably.
no, I'm just trying to think of one of my own, because like when I asked for like a sibling story or like something crazy that happened, I just realized like, okay, I don't think I
I'm not
have
even
one.
joking. I'm not exaggerating at all. That like was
Yeah.
100% legit happened.
That's
Like,
crazy, bro.
It was terrifying.
Jeez, I'm trying to like
ever since that point though, like I've been kind of different. I don't know. Like,
yeah.
I guess that's why I said that one.
What do you mean like
Ever since then, I've
different?
been kind of different. Like things don't. I don't shock so easily.
Oh yeah.
Like when
I could see
when
that.
shit hits the fan, I don't panic. You know,
Uh-huh.
I don't go into oh shit anymore. It's like I guess that just shocked it right out of me. I don't know.
Like for me, I'm trying to think of like times I could have almost died. I feel like the one like
Oh, I'm sure there's been plenty.
oh yeah, I've done some stupid stuff as a kid. One of the stupidest things I think my sister and I did, and I still don't know how my mom let us to do it. I think it's because she was upstairs and she wasn't really seeing what we were doing. But we have, so you walk in our front door, it's kind of living room area. Then you would have to go upstairs to the kitchen. Now, if you're upstairs in the kitchen, you could walk down back to the living room. And if you wanted to go to our bedrooms, they're in the basement. So you had to walk down like another set of stairs. And they're like right next to each other. And it's not the like shortest stairs in the world, pretty long.
Yeah.
And McKenna, my sister's name is McKenna, and we had a competition. We would start at the bottom step. We would jump onto a pillow at the bottom. And then once we both landed it, we would go to the next step. And we would like keep doing that, trying to see if we could like one up each other. And I remember, I think
Right.
McKenna got a little
I
over.
think I see where this is going.
Yeah, a little over halfway up the stairs, and I think she stopped. And I think either she dared me or I like wanted to try it, since I was like such a rebel kid. Even though I was so freaking shy in school, I was crazy like in the household. I like went to the top of the stairs.
Before YOLO was a thing.
Yeah, before YOLO was a thing, I just YOLO'd and jumped.
Fuck.
And like, I think the thing that made me not get hurt was the fact that I didn't get that much air on it. Because when I landed, I like landed with my feet on the pillow, but as you can tell, like the staircase is a little slanted.
You got momentum.
So I got
You got
momentum.
momentum going.
That pillow like flew forward with my feet, and I just hit my head on the back of the stairs. It was like 3 stairs from the bottom, so it was like do do do, super quick. I don't even think I got a concussion out of
like
all the
some
concussions.
African drums.
Yeah, it was like do do do, super quick.
Do, do, do.
And then my mom's like, "What are you guys doing?" And I think like as a kid, you have like superpower strength. I just got back up. I'm like nothing. Like
Nothing happened.
I don't know.
good.
Like high school, like anything could happen. I would get hurt. It felt like I wouldn't like cry about it. Obviously, like in soccer, you'd just get hurt. And it'd be like crap. Well, kind of have to
Oh,
play
yeah,
through
it's
it.
Like, oh well, keep
With
going.
yeah,
Yeah,
but it's like
gotta keep going.
as a kid, I did so much stuff that I felt like I would have got hurt. I think one of the times where something hurt the most for me as a kid was so funny. I was playing basketball in the basement. I think I told this story before in stream, so you might have heard it, but not everyone maybe have. But you remember those Nerf basketball hoops, right? That you'd put on the end of the door.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I was a post player when I played basketball in my middle school when I was a little taller than everyone else. So I would always practice like, pump faking and then going up for like a shot or a layup. So
Right.
me being the smart guy I am, I put the basket on the door where we had like 3 door hinges on the left side of the door where I like doing my left-sided layups. So I
Oh,
would like practice shooting, and then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go inside on this. I wanted to make it game realistic, so I'd like do these super quick pump fakes and then go up. And one of them I did down low in the middle door hinge. I did a pump fake, and then I went up for the shot, and from like my middle fingernail all the way until like almost not the bottom of my knuckle, but like the knuckle on the middle of your finger just cut
oh
open.
no.
Wasn't super deep either,
Oh
but it was just
no.
bleeding, and I
No,
was
it
like
doesn't
in
need to
shock
be deep.
because it was like some
Oh
cuts you
man.
get are like super
You're just like,
clean.
oh,
Yeah, I know.
you're just
It's
like, oh,
yeah.
oh.
Some
That
cuts you
you
get are
can't even
super
say
clean.
ow or help me. You're just like,
Yeah.
oh.
Some cuts you get are super clean. This was not. It was literally all the skin on my finger was on the freaking door hinge. And I just saw, that was the first thing I saw before I looked at my finger. I saw the door hinge with the skin. I'm like, oh no, what's my finger going to look like? I looked down and there was like no bone showing or anything, but it was just blood, and you
It's
could
just
tell where the
bleeding.
skin got ripped off, and it was so like raw. Oh,
Like, oh god,
all right.
turning into a dinner.
Moving on from almost killing ourselves, even though I didn't even get close. Uh, let's talk about something else. Let's go to. I always do this one normally. Let's go favorite
I've had a
food.
colorful life, so like,
Yeah.
don't compare yourself to me. I've had a really unusual life.
You're a little bit older, but okay. What's your favorite food? If you had to pick one food in the world,
Oh man,
it
if
can
I had to
be
eat one thing for
yeah.
the
It
rest
can be
of
like
my
a
life,
combination too. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be the rest of your life. Like maybe something that sounds really good right now. Like it can be a combinations of things too. It can be like a meal. It doesn't have to be just like one specific item.
mm, see, I love Mexican food. First off,
Yeah.
I mean, you could never go wrong with Mexican food. Can you? I mean, come on.
Food
It's,
poisoning is the only way
food.
I can see.
Well, yeah. I mean,
But that can happen with anything, so.
you know, a little bit of Ebola never hurt anybody. You know, I know it's E. coli.
Alright,
Right.
so Mexican food you say. What type of Mexican food if you had to pick it?
Ah, shit. I would have to say steak quesadilla.
Ooh.
Yeah, steak
Yeah.
quesadilla is the bomb.
That sounds good. I was thinking for myself,
Um,
Mexican food
if I
definitely
had to
too.
pick, like, I have to go General Tso's chicken
Ooh.
from
Dude.
from the Chinese place.
Yes. Like I feel like we're the same person. Like we have a Mexican place right in our like center heart of our downtown in our town. It is so freaking good. And then we also have Chinese food, and General Tso's chicken's really good. I'm more of a like egg roll guy, and then chicken lo mein, but I think
Oh
out of
yeah,
everything right
I
now,
get some of that lo mein.
yeah, I think of everything right now because I've been like trying to lose weight, and I'm late night. I'm like getting hungry. I'm thinking, okay, what are some foods that maybe don't have the most calories in the world? Popcorn, I've literally fell in love with. I normally didn't eat popcorn in the past, but the amount of popcorn I eat now is crazy. And the thing is, if I have like
Popcorn is whole grain.
yeah, if I have a normal amount of popcorn, like it might be like 300 calories, but it's like if I'm just starving, like I can sit there from complete starvation mode and be completely full with like 500 calories worth of popcorn. Like it's so great.
Another one is strawberries.
Ooh,
Pretty low
yes.
in calories actually for volume. You know,
Mhm.
you can have a big heaping bowl of strawberries and it's not that much as far as calories go.
Yeah.
I think. Could have swore I saw that somewhere. Don't
S-
quote me on
Yeah,
that,
speaking about like semi-healthy, I know popcorn isn't really that healthy, but just kind of
Well, I
it
mean,
depends
as
what
long as
popcorn
you
you
don't put
have.
too much butter
If-
and
if-
salt
yeah,
on it, you'll be okay.
I like basic popcorn, so I think
I
that
put,
saves me.
like herbs and stuff like that. And,
Yeah.
You know, different herb combinations
Yeah.
so that you don't have to put so much salt in it, or you know,
Yeah.
that might help.
But like since we're on the topic now of kind of like you said strawberries, I've been thinking like healthy things. What how's the gym been for you? Because I know you've been grinding it. Who have you been going with? Your cousin or?
It's me, my cousin, and my stepbrother. We tend to go at least twice a week, sometimes
Yeah.
3 or more. And we always go together because I don't know, I feel like it helps motivate
Oh yeah.
each of us.
Mhm.
We call each other up on, gym day. We're like, hey, time to get gains,
Yeah.
time to go get gains, you know. And it kind of helps to make sure that each one of us actually does it.
Yeah.
There's that little bit of social pressure, and
Yeah.
plus I'm actually freaking paying for it.
Yup. That's the thing. Like as a
So
kid, I never really understood. Like growing up, a lot of things I would just like take for granted because I wasn't the one
yeah,
paying for it. But it's like something like a gym
totally.
membership. It's like knowing how much you're paying for something. It's crazy how like motivated it can make you. And like for example,
Yeah.
like when I had my Anytime Fitness Pass, we had it for I think like 2.5 years, and we had it at like one of the lowest rates possible. I don't know if I'm supposed to like say what we had it at, but like we were one of the first ones on it. So like when everyone else would be signing up for the gym, like not even like 3 months ago, it would be like anywhere from 15 to $20 higher than what we were paying per month. But like
Right.
it became a point where my dad was like, all right, well, if you're at school for X amount of months per year, it would make more financial sense if you just canceled your membership and then got like a summer pass and like a winter pass when you came back. And I was like, oh yeah, that could make sense. But at the same
Ding ding
time,
ding.
but then at the same time, I didn't realize when I'd go home for the weekend, I wouldn't be able to work out. It'd be canceled, so I'd go home some weekends. It's like crap, man. Like I
Crap,
can't work
man,
out
what do
there.
I do? Just
And
I guess I'll just do some push-ups.
yeah, do some push-ups,
You know?
go for a run. But it's like at those moments you start to realize like I really want to work out right now.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the
Yeah,
same as having the weights and the
yeah.
treadmill and the stair climber and
Mm-hmm.
even the stupid rope on the spool thing. Like,
Yeah.
you know, having all those equipment so that you can hit various muscles, like specifically. I
Yeah.
mean, full body workout is also something you need to throw in there, but I mean, if you really want to build muscle, I mean, you got to be able to hit those specific muscle groups.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know.
Have you?
Isometrics are good, but
Yeah. I was gonna say, how long
Mhm.
have you been going to the gym, and have you started seeing results? Like,
Oh yeah. Well, first off, yeah, I've been seeing results very quickly. I mean, within first couple weeks, you'll already see
yeah.
muscle definition growing. And like when I'm at work, I'm finding that I'm able to, like today, I had to dig a trench today actually for an electrical service. It was pretty long, and I haven't had to do that in months actually. Ever since I started working for these guys, we really don't do too much digging. But I didn't have any trouble at all because I've been working out, and it was actually easier than it used to be when I was digging regularly. Even though I haven't done it in a while, but it's all just because I've been working out, and
Yeah.
I've it's very noticeable. Although at the same time, you kind of get used to it, so
Mhm.
you want
Mhm.
more. That's where I'm at right now, where I'm like, all right, I'm used to this. I want more, but
Yeah.
can't just jump straight to it. You have to build.
Uh
You
huh.
know.
I get that completely. I think I've gone, especially being in college now, almost 2 complete years. It's like I've had periods where I've been super fit in terms of how often I would go to the gym and eat healthy, and then I've had periods where like I would maybe relax a little bit more and not take it seriously. I would go but not like go super hard. And what I can just say from experience, you've probably felt this way too. People who maybe are listening to this and don't know if they want to go to the gym or not, maybe are afraid that they'll get judged if they go to the gym or don't know what they're doing.
By the way, just first off, go your ass to the gym.
Yeah. Like in all
That's
honesty,
all.
it's it's so
If you
motivating.
feel like you want to go at all, even just a little bit, fucking go.
Yeah,
Who cares
yeah.
if they judge?
Like I guess I can start here. It'll tie into what I was gonna say in a little bit more perfectly. But when I first started going to the gym, like working out, I didn't know what I was doing for shit. What it was my senior year because I played soccer my 4 years, so they really didn't make you like hit weights. Even though I would go a little bit, but it was more running that I did. So I was like, I would consider myself skinny fat. Like I've never really had a super defined six pack, but I always was kind of just skinnier, but I weighed more. Like I remember, I think it was my freshman year, I was like 160 or something. Then from like my sophomore to junior, I got to like 180, and then I got over 200 to my senior year when I started working out a little bit. But like I didn't know what I was doing, and it wasn't until I did track my senior year where I starting to do some workouts, really understanding what the equipment was. Because for someone with a gym membership, I would work out at school, then I would go to any time after my practice, and I would be afraid to like go to the weight room because I was like, okay, I don't know how to use this equipment, and I don't want to be judged by people. And like the funny thing about that is like when you're in the gym, at first I used to think that all the time, oh, people are judging me. When I'm in the gym, I really don't give a shit about anyone, to be honest. Like that's the last thing on your mind. Like
a single person around me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I
with
I won't lie. There's this one girl I keep seeing in there, and you know.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. I was gonna say that I got two exceptions. One,
Right.
very attractive chicks. Not being creepy with it. I'm just saying
Right.
it's nice. It's nice to see people motivated and dedicated on achieving their goals. And the other one I was gonna say
Sitting
is
there with her boyfriend, anyways, and he's like giant beefalo.
he's
so,
over there lifting like
no.
100-pound
Right.
dumbbells, curling them, so you don't even want to look into her
Fucking
direction.
Throwing Volkswagen tires, you know.
But like,
you know.
if
I'm
you're
not-
if you're maybe a little bit overweight and you're listening to this podcast and you're thinking about working out, I can honestly tell you this is what most people think when they see an overweight person at the gym. Most people, that they might look at you and you think to yourself, oh gosh, they're probably looking at me like, what the fuck am I doing here? Nah. At least all my friends, when we see an overweight person going to the gym, we are super supportive of that. And it's like one of those things where it's like
hell yeah.
it motivates me when I like, especially when I see them like sprinting or running, just doing weight, basically anything in there. It's like there's a person who wants to improve their way of life, and they're not afraid to do it. And I think that's the biggest step, is taking that first step, so to say.
Right. I just go because it feels good.
Yeah, that's another thing too. It's like
good.
I feel like I have more control of every aspect of my life when I'm consistently working out. Because I don't know how it is for you, but it's like if I'm consistently working out, I'm normally going to eat a little healthier. And the times where I am working out, if I'm hungry, normally if I'm drinking enough water when I'm working out, I realize a lot of that hunger comes from being thirsty, which a lot of people get confused, so they eat a lot more. So that kind of like tied in together, which then you normally sleep a little better. So your sleep schedule is a little better, and then you're able to do better in school. You have more energy than work. So it kind of like people who don't understand maybe why it helps to work out, I think that's a big thing. It just puts the pieces together for everything.
And it really helps to like balance your emotions.
Oh, that too.
I find
yeah.
that after I work out, I don't feel depressed. I don't feel angry or anxious. None of that. I feel relaxed and calm, but also focused. You know, I feel like I have some focus.
Yeah. Some of the best even
Almost.
workouts are coming from places of anger or like sadness. Like if maybe something happened with your friends, I know I felt this way before, like something goes on in a friend group, you're just not feeling the best in the world, or you just get pissed about a test or something. Instead of just like sitting there in a pissed mood and like going to stream, I get my ass to the gym and I just freaking go as hard as I can. Because like, I don't know, that's like the best feeling in the world. Like I don't know if you've ever sprinted till like you couldn't sprint anymore, or like run till you can't run anymore. I think that's the closest I could compare it.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's like yeah.
I don't know. You're at the end of your run. You're like, no, man, I'm gonna push it a little bit further. And you're going as fast as you can possibly run. You know, as far as your stride goes, and you're just completely gassed, completely out of fuel, but you somehow manage to squeeze out 10% more. You know.
Yeah, that's always the best. I'm trying to think of what question I should ask next. I have a couple questions right now here. I think we're gonna go now to streaming. We've kind of talked about working out, eating. Let's talk about your first time in stream, how that was, because I think it's a little different from my perspective than yours, but nonetheless, relatively the same, and then we'll kind of go off of that. So, what do you remember about the first time you came to my stream? How'd it go?
I remember it was after I had played. My friend had a PS4, and we had played Der Eisendrache, on Black Ops 3, because we loved zombies. We played the crap out of some Black Ops 2 zombies, like especially Town. Like we would just play Town for hours and hours and hours, and we never really got all that high on, maybe to like round 35. We weren't all that great on Black Ops 2 zombies, but we got serious on Der Eisendrache. But this was only the first time I had played it. I played it, then I left. I went back home, and I just had to play it, but I didn't have it. So I was like, crap, I'm just gonna, oh, there goes my phone vibrating. It's like, well, crap, I'm just gonna have to, watch a live stream. So I just searched, for live streams, and I went into a couple of them, but they were either the chat was going too fast, I couldn't talk to the person at all, or B, they didn't have a face cam, or I don't know, most of them just didn't appeal to me at all. But then I saw, your stream. I don't think there was anybody in there. I was like, oh, hell yeah, I can actually talk to this guy. So I went in there, and why is my phone vibrating? Damn it. Anyways, I hopped in there, and you were just, playing Der Eisendrache, and that's why I hopped in, was because you were playing the map I wanted to see, and because there wasn't anybody in there so we could talk, and we just kind of hung out and started talking, and I remember I was trying to teach you how to put together the wolf bow.
Yep.
but you just weren't having it, and I was like, it's really easy, man. I swear to God, it's so easy. Like, I'll walk you through it, and you're like, nah, I'm just trying to play the map, learn the map. To be honest, I was kind of being a little pushy about it, but that's just because I was freaking obsessed about the map at the time,
Yeah. Like, from my perspective, that was basically what happened. I remember you coming in, and I didn't know who you were, so I knew it was like someone random. But like the thing is that's so crazy to me is like, imagine if like I wasn't playing Der Eisendrache that day. I felt like playing a different map, or I felt like playing multiplayer, and you never clicked in the stream. Like, you might have never found the channel and never gotten to like know the people.
Never seen the channel.
That's crazy to me.
There's so many people streaming. Like, yeah, you'd never. The most unlikely of shit will bring about, well, your very life itself, I guess I should say. That, just the most random of crap all comes together, and it becomes you.
And like going off of that, like how things happen too. Like, I remember back when, I guess it was around that time still, because you found the channel before a lot of other people did. But I remember when I was in Haunted Gaming, one of the things that kind of I picked up from them, I had no idea about like how you could operate Twitter accounts, or I wasn't big on social media, I'll just say that. But
me either, really.
They taught me how to like market myself to different niches, and then if you guys know what that is, it's basically like, okay, I'm a person who streams and makes videos of Call of Duty, so logically I would want people who like that stuff to follow me. So we would think to ourselves, okay, people who play Call of Duty, I was really into zombies at the time, so is there any zombies YouTubers out there who have quite a following on like Twitter or something? So like I would go to their page, I would see the people who are like active on their tweets, seeing what the zombies YouTubers doing that I could do similar, like what was working, what's not working. I would basically just follow a lot of people who were active on there, and we got I'd say quite a few people who came to our channel because of that, just by following the Twitter page. And Haunted showed me how to like set up this welcome message, they called it. So basically you could like say thanks for the follow, you could like link your social media and stuff too. Back when like I learned about it, it was this like cool thing. Like even though I still view it as self-promotion, it was like it didn't feel like it, and people didn't really take it that way because no one was really doing it. But as it like kept going on, more and more people did it. The messages got a little less nice from people. It was more just sub for sub to me, blah blah blah. And all these things.
See that a lot.
And it just kind of
now actually, but for a while there, like sub for sub.
Yep.
It was almost as.
And like the thing is like, I don't regret doing it because we met some people that we would have never met if I didn't do it. But at the same time, it's like there's so many just toxic people you get through that. And it's like, even though I was trying to be,
they don't care about you or your channel.
Yeah,
They just
yeah.
want the number to go up.
And it's like,
Well, just a number thing.
it's
They
like,
don't really even care about.
I'll
the
look at it
content.
from my perspective too. It's like, what was I trying to get out of it? Yeah, I wanted to get a sub number up a little bit too. And there's more at the start, so I didn't really have many subs. But at the
Nothing
same
wrong
time,
with that.
I just wanted people to connect with. I was like looking for people to play with. I was looking for people to stream with, like all these things. I'm like, bro, I need someone to teach me zombies.
That's different than
And
just
Yeah.
coming into the chat
But,
and being
like-
like, "Hey, sub for sub." You know?
yeah, but like the thing is, that's when we met Vanity. Vanity came from one of the direct welcome messages, and I remember like she responded to it. I can't remember exactly what she said, but like out of that, she started coming to the streams, and then like the funniest thing happened. Like sometimes, you know, people come to streams, they might not talk much, or you might not necessarily know who they are, but like, you know, Drew called me one time, and I'm like, "What's up, bud?" And I hear this girl's voice in the background, and she's like, "Is that Reed? Hi, Reed." I'm like, "Drew, who is that?" He's like, "Oh, it's Vanity." I'm like, "Wait, what? You talk to Vanity?" He's like, "Yeah, she's in your streams." I'm like, "Wait, that's it." Like, even though it didn't seem that out of the blue, that it was like such a cool thing, because it's like, even that early on, Vanity got integrated into like the 2&D/Elite Army community, and I just thought that was
really
like
cool.
coolest thing in the world. And
It's
I would,
interesting how, like, even though like I don't really know directly all of your friends,
Mhm.
you know, in that you have in real life, like I kind of know them a little bit, you know, just from
Yeah.
snippets we get in the videos and stuff, you know.
yeah, and I think another thing too is, like I said, you're the first kind of subscriber/mod I've kind of had on here, besides like either people I was in teams with or growing up with. I think it would be interesting to, even if we couldn't get everybody on, hear more people's stories about how they found the channel and like what kept them around, because we got a lot of people who, you know, come here and they're gone and they never come back, but you got some people who will stay for months on end, and it's just something about the community that keeps them here. And I think it'd be a really cool thing. One of the other things too, just lost my train of thought. One of the other things too is,
Oh.
if you want to comment down below, like I said, we can't obviously get everyone on, but the people listening to this point are like the real OGs in the Elite Army. If you guys want to like maybe talk about your experiences of, you know, how you came to the channel or what's kept you around, we'd love that. We're gonna look at the comments obviously and look for people to possibly get on and feature podcasts. So if you guys want to be feature podcasts, let us know. But yeah, that kind of moves us into.
Luckily for all of you guys, like I had my nervous breakdown early in the episode, so you'll get all of the juicy sound bites pretty quick.
I'm gonna title it
You're welcome.
"How He Almost Died" or something. I'll put that in the title or something like that, so they'll want to know what happened. But like, going
I
off
really
of that,
was. I was like super nervous for a few minutes there. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
all right. So I don't remember exactly how long after you came to the channel you became a mod, but I think it was pretty quick, because that zombie stream, you were like really interactive, trying to teach me everything. And it wasn't that I didn't want
I
you
was
to teach me.
into it.
It's I needed to watch a video to understand what you were saying, because I didn't know where the stuff was, and it was like that little delay. It was basically like trying to bring a like blind sheep to the right place. Like it went to work, but
Yeah.
but like you've obviously been a mod
Yeah,
for
I
a while. You've been on the
something like
channel
that.
for a while. You've seen a lot of things. There have been people who have, like, we talk about OG members. It's scary how some people seem like OG members, then all of a sudden either something bad happens or it breaks up like groups of people in the stream, or they just never come back. There's like some great things that happen and some really bad things. Just kind of
Like whatever happened to MLG Pancake?
yeah. I think, okay, so Pancake, I think, changed his name to Gars. I recently unbanned him, but he would come in, and I remember there's something with him and I can't remember who the other person was. Someone who's really involved in the Elite Army. I'm like blanking on their name right now. But they trolled us, I think, one time when we were on playing Minecraft, but it was like a bad troll. Like they were saying the N-word and saying a bunch of stuff they shouldn't have. with
Oh,
the
yeah.
moderator symbol when they're asking why they didn't get moderator since they're in the streams for a while. And I basically had a freak out at them, like, you shouldn't say that at all, period, in a stream. But second of all, I was like, you were asking for so long that you deserve this, and I finally gave it to you, and then you literally used it to troll and let me down.
Immediately.
And so,
Like immediately.
yeah, that was like literally the beginning of the end. But like, from your perspective, I want to hear some of maybe your best memories as being a mod and some of the worst. I'm trying to think of mine too. So you can start with
As far as
whatever.
See, I don't even really think of myself in the context of being a mod, really. I mean,
Yeah.
I do the mod.
I guess on the channel, just being on the channel in general.
Oh, just being on the channel in general.
Yeah.
Well, first off, that Pokemon Fire Red stream was, come on, it was pretty freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Just any kind of stream, all those legendary streams that we had, like that one, the Revelation stream you did recently, the one you
Yeah.
did before that where you set that record that you had, you know.
Mhm.
It's gosh, there were several more. The one where PSN was down.
Yep.
That one was crazy. There was the stream when you were playing Black Ops 3 and you know it was Korean Savage, he came in.
Oh,
Like, that
yeah.
was all these, I mean, I could just keep on and on and on naming all these different streams where crazy crap happened.
Yeah.
I just remembered one. This was one of the earlier streams within the first couple weeks of me watching your stream. You were playing on, I forget what map you were playing on, but like, I convinced you for some reason to use the Perkaholic. I was like, you know, you can just, if you're about to die, you can just pause and close program.
Oh,
and it'll
yep,
save
yep.
it. And you're like,
I remember
"Okay,
this.
yeah, I'll use it. All right, fine." You know, so I kind of felt like a dick afterwards. It's like, oh, this is like totally my fault. But you know, you went and played and you did really well for a while there. But then eventually you went down. But because I think you were panicking, so you
Yeah.
didn't, you know, you didn't pause and close the program while you had a chance. You were like, "Fuck, I lost the Perkaholic." You like threw the controller.
I think. Okay.
I felt so bad. I was like, "This is
No,
my
no.
fault." But
We
I
we
won't
mi-
even lie.
we
I
might
was
be
also
thinking of the
laughing.
same one. Yeah, but like what I remember, because I think I made a highlight on this. So if you go back to like last year on the channel, you could probably find this
Did.
video if it's the same one. What I remember happening was we were on Revelations. I had Perkaholic, and I tried to get, I think, the Apotheon Servant, or I think it was Gravity Spikes. I was trying to get the Gravity Spikes from the box, and it was the box where, you know, where you have to step on the pads to get them to light up, and then you can like jump around the room.
Yeah.
So the one in that area, like not necessarily in that area, but if you like open the door to that area, it'd be on the right side, that first room kind of when you open up that area.
Yeah.
I can't explain it, but like that
Yeah, I
mini
know what
room
you're talking
where
about.
basically it's a death trap. It's literally a death trap if you try to get a weapon later on.
Totally.
And I remember I was like, nah, I'm fine. People were telling me like, be careful. I'm like, I'm good. I was training zombies, but then I got stuck. And I remember I was super close to getting out, and then I went down. And what I did was I paused it, and I was like, fuck. I went down, and I threw my controller, and I like
That's what it is.
raged and went off to the side or whatever. But then like the controller fell off my desk, or like it hit something when it hit the ground, and yeah, no, I think I remember. I think it was I threw my controller, then I threw my headset. I think my headset hit my controller button or something like that, where it resumed the game. So then my body was like down, it was getting revived, but then it came straight back
And
up.
you walked off. You didn't.
Yep,
You didn't notice.
I walked off,
You
didn't
even
notice because I
notice
like
it
went
at
to
the
my
time.
I went to like
Walked
my
off or
bed.
something.
I went to my bed and I came back thinking like, okay, I'm gonna unpause this and we're gonna try to put a Apotheon Servant shot down and get out of here or something. But I look and it's like your game is over. I was like, wait,
You're like,
what?
No,
What? No.
the Perkaholic!
My
Like
Perkaholic
the way you
game.
said it was just fucking priceless.
Oh, crazy.
I couldn't help but laugh. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was just,
Jeez.
I don't know,
Like-
man. I wasn't laughing at you. It was just I don't know. When I see people react to things,
Yeah.
just the way that they do it is just, don't know. It just gets to me.
No, and I like look back. It's like I don't mind that happening because one, that made a funny video. I remember I like went home for the weekend, so I edited it, and it was like two, that makes a funny story for now. It's like when we ever talk about zombies or I talk about zombies with someone, I can always bring that up. How unlucky that was that it happened, or I can bring up that I got around 174 on Revelations. Like all these cool things that happen during streams.
By the way,
dude, that like drained me, bro. My roommate went home for the weekend, so him and Drew were like watching the stream, and they don't ever really type in chat. Drew used to more, but they both kind of just lurk, and they were kind of watching me. And I remember when I died, I like went into their chat, and they're like, "Since you're in here, you must have died, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." I remember I was at a point where I was like one round away where if I would have gotten a super lucky gobblegum, I could have gotten 200 plus easily. But it was like the order of the gobblegum would have been too expensive to get the gum I needed. I was out of ammo. I just had to run around. Yeah. It was like, 8 million for a gobblegum. That was crazy. But yeah, going off of that, I'm trying to think of some of the worst experiences. And like, the one, like, obviously a couple that come to mind right away.
Yeah.
Cripple Gaming was a tough one.
Few of them.
Yeah, Cripple Gaming is one that comes to my mind. A lot of you guys know who Cripple Gaming is. If you didn't know who Cripple Gaming was, I'll kind of give you the short spiel because I think the spiel I give doesn't give it enough credit, so I'm going to try to open it a little bit more. But basically, Cripple was this girl who came to the stream who we've never met before. We were doing an H1Z1 stream, never typed a message in chat, donated like 15 or 20 bucks and said like good game or something. I'm like who is this person? I've never seen them before.
Just out of nowhere.
And like I ask a question. I'm like, who are you? Like,
what the
where are
hell?
you from or something? Like, try to find out more. No response. I'm like, okay, so is this person just like leave after they donate? What the heck? Then I think I got a kill in H1 or something, and then I died. Then she's like, I'm from like Ohio or something. It was like a $30 donation. I'm like, what is going on? Just type in chat.
Through donations.
Yeah, she would talk through donations, and I think she, at the most, maybe with the month or so she was on the channel, not even a month. It was only a couple weeks, I think. It was just all donations were where she talked. She didn't really talk much in chat unless it was someone complimenting her, like asking her how she was doing. Basically, a little background about her once we started figuring out more about her, because, like I said, she was relatively new to the stream and she wasn't here a lot. But when she was, she made such a big impact. People will say, oh, it was just only because she donated to you. She had some crazy freaking donations, don't get me wrong. But
it drew attention.
Yeah, it drew attention, but more than anything, it motivated me, because what she told me and what she told us was one of the craziest things in the world. She basically explained to me, she's like, she was a little older. She was like in her 50s, late 50s. She loved watching like Battle Royale games, so she would have never found the channel unless we were playing H1Z1 that day, which again, I say is crazy how things happen like that. But another thing too,
not a game that she played very much.
But another thing too, I didn't know how old she was at the time, stuff like that. So I'd be like, you don't need to be donating this much if you're in a position where you're trying to save money or something. And that's basically when she started opening up, and she's like, no, I'm actually sick. I've been sick with cancer for a while, and I don't have that much left. And I didn't know how to respond, really. I didn't know. The thing that came to mind right away is,
I don't know how to respond to that.
A lot of people right away were thinking, okay, this is a troll. But now I was like, no, there's no way this can be a troll, because these are legit donations.
No one's gonna drop.
It defeats the purpose of a troll if you're pretending to be someone with cancer and you drop like hundreds of dollars in donations. And like the reason I bring it up is, in the past we've had people. There's a kid, and I don't want to give this kid credit because he's an asshole, but he basically had multiple accounts in stream, would be different people, and one of them, he pretended to be a kid with cancer. And the way we found out about it was he was talking with both his identities in chat and accidentally wrote the wrong message with the wrong account. Quickly deleted it, but a couple of us mods saw it. And we're like, wait, what the heck was that? Like, he deleted the message. Then he copy and pasted it to his other account instantly. And then we're all like, okay, we kind of know what's going on. And I think I got him on like a Skype or Discord call, I think, just to figure out what was going on because I wanted to permaban this kid. But I wanted to hear his reasoning, why he thought
You
that was a
wanted
good
to
idea.
know what the hell
And
is going
in
on.
his delusional mind, his idea was it was going to bring our community closer because a death would have that happen. I'm like, okay, so what were you going to do with the account? Just have the kid never come to a stream again? Then what were you going to do? Announce this later on? He's like, I wanted you to do a stream where you raise money for cancer patients and get more donations. I'm like, that doesn't get more donations. If anything, you would.
So thick, like what the
Yeah,
fuck?
and like the thing is, people. This is what people wanted to do, and this is the scary thing about people. How trolling like that, people doing this can actually do bad. There was people in my chat who were willing to give up hundreds of their dollars to put towards Cancer Society or whatever live stream we're gonna do, but we were gonna have the money go for medical fees for this kid. That was what people wanted to do, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, the chances if this is a troll, I'd rather give it to a real charity, not like taking anything away from this kid. But
Yeah.
for the little time we knew him, it didn't end well. So like going back to the cripple thing, people already were thinking that. So like I said, the donations were a big part of what made them actually think it was real and start to understand what she was going through. But like just her presence in chat, I don't know if you have stories about her or remember much, but I just remember like her saying that she was basically sitting in bed, barely had any energy, and knowing that like my live stream was the only thing that was going to get her through the day. And like the craziest thing, and I still am so grateful to this day, one of the last live streams she was in, she like thanked me. It wasn't a donation, which I was happy about, because what I was afraid she was going to do is, she told me she didn't have much family, and she didn't really talk to the one she had, but what I was afraid she was going to do was empty her bank account into my stream or something. I didn't want that.
Right.
I didn't want any money that could help her family cope or go towards her funeral or just anything in general go towards me. You know, if she really wanted it to, I maybe would have accepted it, but that was like what I was scared of at the time. But I remember, I think it was the last stream she was in.
Because if she did that, you'd be like, damn, I
Yeah,
don't want to
and
keep
like
it,
I said, she dropped a lot of money in the stream, but
It's only human.
she had a lot more too. And she said the thing is, she was in debt a little bit too because of all the like medical stuff. So money really
that's
didn't have an
inevitable.
effect. Like she could donate whenever she wanted, really, because she kind of knew she was gonna pass away.
And it'd basically
yeah.
be a drop in the bucket.
Mm-hmm. And like going back to one of the last things she said, she I think in the chat just kind of thanked us all for being there for her because she didn't really have people to talk to about it, and just like that, you know, she was gone. And I think
actually
that was
a couple people that came up there.
That was one of the toughest moments because it was one of those where we didn't know that she passed away, but it happened where slowly it'd be day, it'd be week, it'd be month, and she just wasn't in streams anymore. And you kind of have to make the assumption of what she said and how often she was in there that something might have happened. And I remember she uploaded a couple of videos on her channel because she would donate to a couple other streamers, so they would come by her channel and say either thank you, or a couple of the subs would come by and see what she made. I can't remember what content she made, but she had videos on her channel, which was a super important thing.
I kind of feel bad. I never went onto her channel to see what was on there.
No, it was just gameplay. It didn't have no audio or anything.
She had her own videos.
I think it was like Skyrim. It was like Skyrim, but no audio. It was just game audio. So it was like basic gameplay, but she enjoyed doing it. Yeah. And like the thing that was so important about that though is I remember one stream we were playing Kino. I was doing like a super high rounder in the summer or something right when I got off of school. Probably a month and a half or so after she stopped coming to the streams. And I remember someone brought up the question. They're like, where's Cripple Ben? And I think it kind of hit me then and hit us then that she most likely passed away. And we didn't know how to explain it. We didn't know how to talk about it. Because it was one of those things that's like, I would feel like an asshole if I told my whole audience she passed away when really she was maybe just sick and she couldn't make the streams much anymore or something like that. So I didn't really know what to do. And then miraculously, as we're talking about it, not even 5 minutes later, a Cripple Gaming with the same logo comes in the stream. And we freaking lose it. I remember I got super emotional. I think Vanny was in there. Like, everyone is basically
I was there. I remember that.
Yeah, everyone in the stream basically saw someone in chat who came from the grave. That's the feeling I got from it. But then
everybody kind of freaked out.
I was in a zombies match, and I remember I wasn't pausing at the time, so I was just like going off. I'm like, I'm so sorry, how you been, blah blah, all these questions, all these emotions are going through me. And then someone gave me the news that it wasn't her. They clicked on the channel, and that just pissed me off, and I lost it there. I think I just like had an emotional breakdown. I paused the game. I like left to go to the bathroom for a couple minutes. I came back, and I was really gonna end the stream, and then I really thought about it. I'm like, nah, like,
honestly, I wouldn't have blamed you if you did.
Yeah, but it was like one of those things where it's like, Cripple was going through a hard time. The streams, this community, or what helped her, it would be letting her down if I would let things like that get to me and help me. It would, if I let something like that get to me and stop doing what helped other people find their happiness. And that, like, in terms of streaming throughout like the last year or so, there's so many freaking times where I just wasn't having fun, whether it be I felt like there's nothing to play, people in chat were being super annoying. And like this past year, to be completely honest, we haven't really grown that much in subs. I talked about it earlier. Like, we had that period where we lost so many subs. I looked back in November when World War II first came out. We had like 5,630 subs. Today we started, I think, with like 35 more than that or something. So in terms of like how much growth we had last year compared to this year,
like up and down.
Yeah, it's been a weird year. And I think that's everyone. Just everyone doesn't know what to post. Everyone's kind of waiting for Black Ops 4. People are riding Fortnite, and it's like, I just felt like I was in a position where I wasn't happy doing it, and I would force a lot of streams.
At this point, it's mainly the algorithm at this point, right? I mean, the way that it's, shunting certain channels up towards the top.
That's the thing too, is like, I look back and it's like, I can't complain about the algorithm. There's definitely some times it's helped me out, but a lot more times it's hurt me, I feel like. But at the end of the day, I say this to everyone, and my dad kind of tells me this too. He's like, don't be upset about it, because it's not your job. He's like, I know how hard you work at it. I know how much time you put into it. I know you receive money from it, and it's, like I said, it's not a bad source of money. It's a pretty decent amount. It can pay rent for months. It can get bills paid for. It can pay for college. It can do a lot of things, but it's not enough to be a full-time job, because you kind of know how it is. If you have a certain amount of money you're making, that's not the only thing you have to care about. You have to worry about, insurance to make sure you're covered, make sure your car's covered, make sure if you get hurt, the company's not liable. Like, all these things you have to.
And not only do you have to cover all those things, but you need to find a way to save up money.
Yep.
So that if and not just if, but when something happens in the future, let's say all of a sudden your engine blows up, you're out of vehicle.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
I remember,
if you don't have anything saved up, you're screwed.
And I remember that I was kind of you at some points.
But you also have to stay sane and enjoy your life. So it's like, how do you strike a balance between saving
and like, I don't think I say it enough with you. I appreciate every single month the sponsorships you put down, the dollars you throw here and there, the amount you're in the streams with working as much as you do.
I wouldn't donate something if I can't afford to donate
and like,
it.
I always bring you up as the perfect example, because you never go crazy with donations. I think there was a point where you donated every day for almost a month, but it was like $1 each day. So it was like something where it was like, you're putting your mark down, but more than anything, it was like something that people would expect. And I feel like that's almost why that people would show up to stream sometimes. They'd be like, all right, stream's starting. I got the notification. Let's see Argus put down his $1. Let's see Mumbo freak out over his zombies or something. And we'll go on with our day. It just seemed kind of like a normal thing. But like...
Maybe I should start donating more often again. Maybe people start sticking around. So, oh man, time to see that. I want to see that blue square pop up in chat.
This is a good question, because I've talked to you obviously over stream about it, and we've had discussions with other people, but I don't think we've, like I said, talked like this before, so I think it'd be a good time to talk about it. Like, the way I look at YouTube is like, it's almost my dream job. Why it would be my dream job? Not because I would love to do it for a living, just the amount of time it would open up in my schedule. Like, don't get me wrong, if it was my job, I'd be streaming for a lot during the day.
You have no time.
Yeah, no. Yeah, but like, here's the thing. Like, when I'm working, like, you saw the way I was this summer. When I would work at my paying job, I didn't like it. And it's like, but I loved the time I got home and streamed because it felt like I was doing what I loved. And I feel like the way it would work with streaming and making videos, if I was blessed to even do it, let's say for a year. Let's say after I graduated, if I just took a year and just, that was the only thing I focused on, making videos and streaming, I would put so much time into it, one, but two, it's like, I would make sure I was having fun with it. If I wasn't having fun with it, you know, I would tell myself, okay, I'm going to go get a job because it's not worth it. But if I could use that 40 hours a week.
Because if you're going to have your soul sucked out, you might as well get paid for it.
That's the thing. It's like, there's points on the channel where it's like, this used to be my dream. Now it feels like hell. What happened? But like,
yeah, that's really the best way to put it, is soul sucking. Like,
yeah.
Like working at Walmart is soul sucking, and like,
like for you, what would you say
here.
your dream job is? We've discussed this a little bit, but if you could have,
I'm actually kind of at a stage in life where I'm not 100% sure. I mean, for the longest time, I'm really, I actually do, like, I study like physics, especially particle physics, like on my own, kind of on the side. I'm no physicist. I won't claim to be a physicist. Like, I can't do all the math yet. I know some of the math, but not like the really big, heavy stuff. I don't know that yet. But like, I understand the theories and how they work. Like, I really would love to be like a particle physicist someday. But man, that's a lot of schooling, and it's a lot of debt that I'd have to go into to do it. And I've already got this skill where I'm an electrician, and I might get my electrical license, you know, sometime soon, and I might start my own business or something, you know. So I'm at a crossroads. I'm not sure what I want to do right now.
I think regardless, like we've discussed this before, I've told this to a lot of people, you don't always have to follow or do what you're always super passionate about, because to be honest, if you're looking for a job where you're super passionate about it, you might not always find it. But what you can find is you start working somewhere. You might not always like it at times, but for the most part, you might find a skill that you never thought you had before, or you might grow into something. Like, you've discussed this before and we've talked about it. You're in a business where nowadays not a lot of people like getting their hands dirty. A lot of people don't like manual labor. You went from a position where it was basically just straight manual labor to now you're learning a lot of the things. You're moving up through the chains of the company. And now you can start to see, holy crap, there can be a lot of money made here. Like, it's crazy too.
Yeah, there's most of the people that I work with, I'm the youngest person on my crew. I know I talk about being the stream grandpa, but I'm the youngest person in the company. Everyone on the crew is at least 5 years older than me, if not several decades older than me. Like, here in about 15, 20 years, there's not going to be enough electricians and plumbers and whatnot to service everybody, because people aren't learning the trade. Nobody wants to do this shit.
And for you for you youngins out there who don't really understand what this means, let me just put this in simpler terms for you. If there's less of something, chances are the price will go up for the item. Think about games. Argus talked about this. He has a Spyro game from PlayStation 1. At the time, his parents, he said, probably bought it for like 20 bucks.
1998.
They don't make PS1s anymore. If you guys didn't know, they stopped making them after the PS2s, and then the PS3s, and then the PS4s. So no one's making PS1s, and the chances of you buying one are hard enough as it is. But even harder is to find the Spyro game made. And as of right now, you said you bought it for 20 bucks. How much do you think you could sell that for if you really wanted to?
If I was trying to get rid of it fast, I could sell it for $100 easily. I could probably sell it for $200. Like, to be honest, it's in good condition. It's opened. Like, I've seen I've seen copies that are for 300, 400 or more that are, sealed still, but mine's open.
Mhm.
So, I mean, but still, I mean, they bought it for like $20
Yeah.
back then at
And
a used game store.
that's a game. Think
It's
about a
worth a couple hundred
service.
bucks
Yeah.
now.
Think about a service. Think about a career
That's crazy.
where like you need to go people need you in their houses to fix their shit. If there isn't people to fix their shit or there's very minimum and you need that shit fixed quick, you will pay whatever it takes to get them there. So your compensation
If your
goes
air
way up.
conditioning's off,
Yeah.
like
Like it's almost a
you're
necessity.
gonna get that AC turned back on.
Yep.
Although I won't even lie, like if you call an electrician to come to your house and fix something, you're already gonna be paying quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But that's just kind of the nature of the game there, because you gotta think about all the extra costs that these people got to incur.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't really think of that. I know you think about that because you're a business student, you understand that, but like all these other people, they really don't
Mm-hmm.
get it. Even like, I'm not even talking about kids, I'm talking about like fully grown adults. They don't really understand how business works, because they've just never bothered to learn.
I was having this conversation with people in chat today, but instead of just like straight up business, which most things do involve business, I was talking about just money in general. We were talking about, I think it was YouTube, people doing it as a job. I was bringing up the thing that Ninja said one time in his Twitch stream, where if you're trying to be a YouTube streamer or Twitch streamer or make videos, YouTube and Twitch don't need you. There's hundreds of thousands of people doing what you are doing. There is no reason for you to do it unless you're different, unless you offer something that hasn't been seen yet. So he brought up a lot. He's like, find something you're passionate about, find an angle where people aren't doing yet. And then Mr. Beast topped in to talk about it too. I don't know if you know who Mr. Beast is, but he makes a lot of videos, like giving a lot of money to streamers and different things. But like he tweeted,
I know who he is, yeah.
He had a tweet where he's like, for people trying to make it on YouTube, be creative. He's like, it doesn't have to be hard. I came up with, he had like a whole list of ideas for videos, and he said it took him 5 minutes. And like the crazy thing about that is like, there's so many people out there who they want to be a YouTuber, they want to be a streamer, but now it's like video games are getting to the point where it's sports. Yes, when I was growing up, I wanted to play in the MLS. I wanted to be a professional basketball player. I wanted to do all these things, but in reality, what are the chances of me doing it? If I really wanted to work for it, obviously it could get done with a lot of hard work. But I feel like with video games in general, people really don't think about it as video games anymore. They're like, oh, I'm having fun with it. I want to do this as a job. Sadly, it doesn't work like that. One, you have to be super good at the game if you want to be competitive, like play competitive for money. But also, viewership. If you're not super good at a game, people have to watch you for another reason. It has to be because you're entertaining. And like you see with Ninja, if you have both of them down, that's a jackpot. And so many kids.
And it's even harder now, though, because like you also have to have the luck of the algorithm.
Yeah, that too. That too.
How are people gonna find you? So.
But it's like,
and it seems to me like not a lot of people bother to hit the share button anymore.
Yeah. And my advice, I would say,
you're completely reliant on the algorithm.
Yeah.
To get your stuff out there.
My advice to any kids trying to either be a professional gamer in terms of like MLG, like either professional Call of Duty, be it Fortnite, things like that, or you want to be a streamer. I had a 13-year-old that I was talking to today, and he was explaining to me how he wanted to just stream and make videos from his PS4 of like Black Ops 3 gameplay. I just kind of was frank with him. I'm like, listen, you're going up against a lot of people where this game is already this old. People really don't want to watch videos of it, especially if it's mediocre gameplay, being completely honest with them. And then I said on top of it, he asked me the question, he's like, do I really need to buy a microphone, webcam, decently nice computer and all this stuff to do it? I'm like, you don't have to, but there's hundreds of thousands of people out there with it. So if you don't have it, you're almost at a disadvantage as of right now. Like, I remember investing into my setup. It first started with my PC. I bought a gaming PC. Then I got my Elgato, And I just started like making little edits on Black Ops 3 videos, learning how it worked, and I would upload them. Like, if you go to my channel right now and you go to my videos and you go to like the oldest ones on my channel, it's literally just me taking PS4 gameplay, either sending it from my PS4 directly to like YouTube and then downloading it on my computer and editing it on there. Like, it was me learning how to do all this stuff. I didn't start, with OBS and all these things.
You were
knowing
learning
how to
on
do
the
these.
fly.
Yeah, and it's like, even OBS, and Zick, if Zick's watching this, AZ Nation, he's one of my good friends from back home. He always talks to me about me trying to explain to him OBS. And the way I would put it to you, Argus, is like you coming in at the time for zombies and trying to explain to me how to do the wolf bow. No matter how much you explain to me how to do the wolf bow, if I don't know in the general place of where I have to look or the general way about going about it, I'm never going to remember it. So what I did was I went to go watch a YouTube video on these locations, then I went to go practice it myself. Did that over and over, and then if you gave me help or other people gave me help, I was able to understand then. The issue with Zick we were running in with was I would try to explain to him where all this stuff is, and he would struggle to even find, like, where to record something or like how to add a photo to the screen and stuff like that. I basically said to him, I'm like, Zick, if this is something you want to be good at, you need to be able to play with it yourself, because I remember when I first started, I had no idea how OBS worked. Now I know where most stuff is, but I'm still learning new things, and I'm always trying to improve. Same thing with like editing videos. I got Sony Vegas now, so it's like I'm trying to learn how to make crisper edits.
Fancy.
And yeah, so it's like you don't need all this stuff, but it gets to a point where if you're trying to invest in your future, like, think about all the kids who go professional for sports. You don't think their parents spent thousands of dollars on club teams in the area that were elite to get them to tournaments and camps where they would be seen by a lot more people?
Where they could be seen by scouts. Yeah, exactly.
And like being
Absolutely.
Being a marketing
the kids
major.
whose parents have some, some little bit of jack to get them into, a better team. They absolutely have a better chance.
Here's the thing. I was always upset about this growing up because I saw it a lot, but now as a marketing major, it makes sense. It literally makes sense. When I was like sending videotape when I was early, like freshman, sophomore year of high school, when I still thought I'd be playing college soccer, I was going to these Division I camps all across like the Midwest. I would be performing better than half these kids, but like the way it would work is we'd be put on teams. There'd be like 4 or 5 teams. We'd all play against each other. Then they would have like a callback where they would have like the best people they think they saw play an 11v11 versus each other, and everyone else went home. And basically they got another hour in front of the coaches. Some of them I would make it to like the all-star game, but some of them I would just plain out not make it. But I was better than half the kids. And I thought to myself, I'm like, why is this the case? Like, I really don't understand. And like we had we had sheets of like people's locations, who was at the thing, their clubs and all this, and I would start like looking up, okay, who are these people? Where are they from? And a lot of them were like from the best clubs in the area in the Midwest. It's like, okay, I'm not playing for the best club in the world, but some people come out of here. But then I really started looking into it. I'm like, these people, they come from rich locations. They have siblings who've gone to Division I. A lot of these people have stories, connections, where like the business world, if you have connections, you might be more employed, you might be more skilled for a position than someone else. But if someone else has more connections than you, they'll most likely get it than you. And that's kind of how
around where I live, we call that the good old boy system.
Yeah. But like as a marketing major, like looking at it now, it's like, you know what? My parents, if we really wanted me to play college soccer, we could have probably put more money into it, went to more camps, tried out at different like clubs where it might have been more of a drive. But even if I didn't play as much as I did at the club I did, that might have set me up for better chance. Because it's like I made they called it ODP, Olympic Development Program, where basically each state
trying to send you to the Olympics.
It's like each state has their own team, and not all the best players in the state would go to it, but quite a few would be on the team. So my parents wanted me to try out for it. I didn't know how to do. I missed like the first tryout day too, so I like came late, but I ended up making the team. So I was like on the
Oh
at the
yeah.
time most elite team in Wisconsin, and we'd be playing against teams from all across the Midwest and even all across the U.S. We'd go to like Illinois, we'd go to Iowa, go all these places and
Oh
play these
man, I bet
games.
that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. But like what I realized was, I was I was in the '98 class, and then two of my friends in the '97. We were the only like Madison kids around. Everybody else was like from the Milwaukee area where all these good soccer teams were, all these top like
Right.
Division 1 colleges in the area looked, and it's like, you
You guys
know,
are from this little place, and like,
yeah, no matter how good we are, most of the time people will settle for someone who played for a better team or had more connections, and
they want that name
yeah,
recognition of like
yeah,
a
and,
name that they recognize.
yeah,
You know, basically that's all it is. They just want to be able to recognize a name or a pedigree or something that makes them feel like, oh yes, this gives me confidence. You know,
yep. And something else I'm going to start doing now
like
that Facebook live streaming is more of a thing, and Facebook is now becoming sort of a place for videos as well. Even though Facebook has a lot of issues going on right now too, social media in general, there's a lot of shady shit happening. But what I'm bringing up is I'm going to start pretty soon. I think this summer when I have like more of a set schedule and will know what I want to do. Maybe even I'll wait till
right.
Black Ops 4 so I know for sure. I'm going to start
Oh, I
doing
can't wait
like
for that. By the
yeah, that's going to be so fun. We can talk about that in a sec, but like I'm going to start doing Facebook advertising, which basically I'm going to put my own money into advertising myself on Facebook. So ads of me will play across people maybe who are looking for Black Ops 4 content.
Woo-wee.
I'm gonna do it I'm
Ads.
gonna do it on
Hello.
YouTube too. So I'm gonna have a niche on YouTube where people who want this content will be able to see either me like a welcome video to my page or something of me playing. I don't know. Like I see a lot of other YouTubers do it, and I didn't understand what it was.
I've
I would
noticed
see
that too.
I would see their welcome video. I'm like, what the heck is this welcome video for? And then I would watch more videos. I'm like, oh, they're linking that to like their Facebook ads and all this stuff. So people are watching the video and then they're finding the channel. And it's like there's some crazy good deals you
Right.
can get, and you get a lot of clicks to your channel. And what I say all the time is, if you're confident enough, if you think that people would love your channel if they got the chance to see it, got a chance to just come to a live stream or watch a video, you know, invest in yourself.
Yeah.
Same as I did in soccer. Why not put some money into it? The way I look at it is, if this is something I really want to do, I see a future in, it won't hurt because the risk will be worth it for the reward.
Yeah, and I think about that, you know, whenever I think about going back to school, you know, and getting a degree and whatnot, that, you know, if things worked out, I could stand to make quite a bit of money.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, I'm already working this skill and honing this skill that I have right now, and that could also pan out to
Yeah.
make a lot of money. So
Like a lot of times in life,
that's what I'm torn on, is I'm
yeah.
not sure what to go with. You know?
You're sitting in, like, even though you don't realize it, you're sitting in this situation of, I don't know how I could be more successful. If I went back to school, I could be, or I could stay in this job where I'm about to make a shit ton of money. Like, either way, like, you got good things
Like
coming.
I'm doing okay right
Yeah.
now. I'm doing okay right now. Like I can't
Yeah.
complain, but I'm not doing fantastic, you know.
Nah, but like,
But here in about 5 years, I'll be doing good, and in about 10 to 12 years, I'm probably going to be doing really good. You
yeah,
know?
and like that's the thing too. I've talked about this before. You know, when to cash out. A lot of people on YouTube, you know, they're big for a year and a half. They make a crap ton of money. They use that money well. They don't just buy this super expensive stuff just to buy it. They invest
So
it. They
stupid
put it
when I see
into
them buying
stuff where the
huge
money. Yeah,
houses.
yeah. Like I love seeing the people who do YouTube make it big, and then you don't see them on YouTube anymore. And then people will come across their channel and be like, "Oh, this channel's dying. They're over with. They don't want to upload anymore because they're not getting views." I love the people who don't understand how business works, because it's like you can tell the people who are really smart at the time just by watching their videos. This person cashed the fuck out, used something they enjoyed doing for the time, but when they saw it was starting to become toxic, something they didn't enjoy, they got out and they had enough money saved up where they didn't have to do it anymore. They could pursue
See, I've
other
been watching
things.
YouTube for a long time, and like I know that there's been several channels that I've seen do that, where
Oh
they
yeah.
get big, blow up, make their money, and then eventually they just kind of drop the mic and just get out. There's been a couple of them. I'm brain farting the names.
Yeah. Okay. I got one for example. There's a channel called Woody's Gamer Tag. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. I highly
I
recommend
have.
you check him. Yeah. So I used to
Yeah.
watch him back in the day with all my friends because he played Call of Duty, and what he did is like It wasn't Motivation Monday. This was basically what my Motivation Monday was based off of. It was called Mail Monday. So you'd have a bunch of kids and a bunch of people in his like who are his subscribers. They would have issues and they would email him, try to find solutions to it, and it exploded. He became like the dad of YouTube. He was never good at the game, so he would call himself Woody the Unexceptional Gamer. So when everyone at the time was trying to get the best Call of Duty gameplay possible, he would always put up mediocre gameplay, but everyone was fine with it because it was what he was talking about that made him big. And then he had a podcast too called Painkiller already that I still listen to this day. But if you look at his channel now, he does paragliding videos, which are super interesting, but the
Right.
Call of Duty community won't watch. He has like 1 million subs, but he has enough money where he doesn't have to work again, basically. But he does this because
Right,
it
doesn't
still
have to
gets
worry about it.
income. He bought in cash a huge house where if you watch his paragliding videos, you'll see how big his house and his land is. Absolutely humongous. And he has a lot of, I don't know if it's complete, but he got his daughter off to college and his son has a couple problems. I don't know exactly what they are. I don't want to misspeak on it, but he needs
Right.
medical stuff to do so. So a lot of money will be
It sounds to me like this guy made a lot of money and instead of being like, "Oh shit, I have a lot of money,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go buy a bunch of cocaine," instead he was like, "I'm gonna go put this somewhere and invest it
Yep.
and become wealthy." Instead of being, there's a difference between being rich and being wealthy.
I've heard so many people
There's
say
a big
too.
difference.
I can't remember exactly who it was, but I've heard people be like, you know, when I first started doing gaming YouTube videos, I made $1 million from that. Then when I stopped doing YouTube and it was still popping, I made a couple 100,000 off of that still, and then I invested. And when I was doing what I loved, just traveling the world, I made another million off of investments. Now I'm set for the rest of my life. And it's like, dang. That is crazy. But it makes sense. Have your money work for you
Yeah,
rather
absolutely.
than against you.
I mean, you should always try to take the path of least resistance in life. I mean, don't make things harder on yourself than they have to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I see people do that all the time, where they it seems like they're taking the hard route on purpose. I don't understand why.
It's the curb appeal, man. People want to look like they're living that life. But that look like you're living that life, if you don't use your money right, will get you a lot of items that you might be able to afford at the time. But when you continuously have to make payments on them, you're going to start to see,
Right.
oh crap, I don't have that money. And I brought up in the streams today, professional athletes, especially ones that come from the hood. You see a lot of athletes that come from the hood, have nothing. They get their first rookie deal, they get a couple $1,000,000. First thing they do, retire their mom. Doesn't have to work a day in their life. Then they retire their dad. Then they pay the house down. Then family and friends, everyone who you ever grew up with, starts calling you,
All of a
expecting
sudden, that
stuff.
$4 million signing bonus
Yep.
starts dwindling.
And it's not the fact that it's dwindling down, it's the fact that you used all this money, but now you got to make payments on all this stuff. Like, that's a great gift that you gave. You gave a speedboat to your friend's dad who played catch with you growing up and showed you how to really be physical, but try to explain to him that he has to be the one to pay for it every month now. And if you don't want to tell him that, that's completely fine. You got to take care of it now.
Which, I mean, a boat of any kind is just a hole in the water to throw money into, by
Yep.
the way. Like, I live near the water. That's every fisherman I've ever known has said that. They say, yeah, just a hole in the water to throw money into. Don't bother.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe it's different in a freshwater area.
My sister's boyfriend bought a boat, but it's just like a fishing boat. Like, it's not a yacht. It's not some super expensive thing that looks cool, not speedboat. Like, it does the job of getting them to where they need to fishing wise, set up, and overall just last. And he fishes a lot, so he gets use out of it. Yeah. Yeah, we're kind of getting to the point
I went
where...
out one time. Only ever been out on a boat real far one time. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Have you ever been out there like that? Like, I don't know.
I've had some moments where I didn't realize how deep the water was, but I had like a jacket on, but I would like go, what's it, water skiing or jet skiing or whatever it's called, and
Yeah.
you'd be on the water or you'd be on a tube, you'd get fling off, and you like land in the water, and I have this fear now that I didn't know I had before until it happened, is I love doing it. I love going on tubes, but one time I got hit off the tube, landed in the water. They didn't realize I landed off the tube for a while, and they like went not super far, but they went quite a bit of a distance away from me and didn't realize I was off. So I thought they kind of forgot about me, but then they started turning around. But at that time, it hit me like I'm in the middle of this water, even though there's nothing like dangerous in like a Wisconsin water, really. There's like not sharks or shit like that. It's still scary how deep it is, and if my jacket...
Just, when you look down, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. When you look down...
see the bottom?
No. You look down, and it's like
You look down, it's just dark.
It's murky and dark. Just
a dark, gaping abyss.
When that happens, like...
And you just feel like you're floating in space almost. I know what you're talking about. It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I don't get it so bad anymore because I'm usually not in super deep water like that, but... I think I know what you're talking about. I've had that same feeling. I've never really been able to describe it either.
Do you have Netflix?
You hit the nail on the head, though. Yeah, I do.
Have you ever seen the movie? It's a scary movie. It's like, I can't remember. It's like 47 Down Under or something, where these people go like in a shark cage to go see sharks, and basically stuff goes wrong. I don't want to spoil it for you, but you can almost guess what happens.
I think I've seen some ads for that.
I would highly suggest watching it tonight if you want to watch something before you go to bed or later this weekend. It will take what I just talked about and really just freak you out and make you think how scary the ocean is and like how much stuff you don't know about is down there, and just how isolated you can really be in the water. But
like, I don't know how it is in other areas, but here where I live, if you go to the beach, like I live 15 minutes from the beach, like if you go down there, there's nowhere you can swim on the beach where you won't be within like, I don't know, 20, 30 yards of a shark.
Yeah.
Somewhere. But the sharks ain't gonna fuck with you.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care about you. I mean, they do attack people occasionally. Like a couple of years ago, we had like 2 or 3 people get attacked here, but that's how it happens. Like 2 or 3 people will get attacked in a year, and then for years nothing will happen. Yeah, that's how it usually goes, or at least around here.
I feel like sharks are one of those things
always
too.
There.
Yeah, sharks are one of those things where it doesn't seem like a threat for me because I'm in the Midwest, but when I go to places where I'm near an ocean or near places where sharks are, that's the thought in my mind is, from the movies I've seen, from the things I've heard, I'm going to get killed by a shark.
I'm worried about you, man.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. A lot of animals, people don't give a shit about you, bro. Like, everyone wants to live their own life, even if you're a shark. But
they're way more interested in the fish.
We are, I think, looking at this recording, we're about almost an hour and a half in, which I think is one of the longest podcasts we've done yet. It literally feels like it's been like 5-10 minutes.
I completely forgot we were recording, to be honest, until you just said something.
And like, that's the best thing too, because I remember...
I actually kind of feel bad. I kind of wish I was a little more animated and interesting.
No. I feel like these are the best.
I actually forgot we were recording.
Like, I'll be honest with you. Drew and I were like this too. Drew and I were talking one night over winter break, and we were like, I think a half an hour in, just talking and playing a game. I'm just like, bro, do you just kind of want to record an Elite Army podcast right now? And it was the same thing with him. Like, if you go back and listen to it, half the time you kind of just forget that you're recording and you're just talking. Like, most of the time we were sitting here, we were just having conversation. You know, at the start, we might have like struggled to come up with an idea, but like the thing that if you watch this back after the fact, which I'm gonna have some in the future where I can get people on and we're gonna live stream it so people can watch it live, and then
Oh,
if they
that'd be
want to watch it
awesome.
later, that'd be cool. Plus, you get an audience of people who maybe wouldn't watch it in the first place, but they see it's live and are like, "Let me check this out."
That'd be great. That'd be like you could do like a weekly little show or a
Yeah,
bi-weekly show or whatever, and
I
people
think
could
that
call in. Oh man, you'd
I,
have so many trolls calling in.
I think that'd be a really good thing though, because think about it like this. Right now, you can't really see my OBS screen, but I just took the Elite Army picture, put it across the whole screen,
Huh?
so I really don't have to do anything. I just need to upload this video to YouTube. That's all it needs to be. Imagine now if we get other people in Discord. We have either one or two more people. We get guests to come and be like, "Hey, if anyone wants to come into Discord, we're in this tab. We'll like bring you in, talk for a little bit." Uh, yeah, that's basically it. Like like I said, I felt like these podcasts, what ends up happening is I've listened to podcasts that are like 4.5 hours, and you just sit there and you
Yeah,
lose
me
track of
too.
time because conversation just keeps flowing and flowing and
I
flowing.
love just putting them on. Even if, I mean, it's nice to be able to watch too, but like a lot of times I just put them on and listen. It's like you're just chilling with the bros, shooting the
Hmm.
shit. You know,
Like
that's
that's
what
the
it
thing
feels like.
too. Is like there's so many podcasts I listen to that I literally feel you can watch a video on people, you can see them upload content, you can see them stream, but you really don't know a person until you listen to them in a live stream for a while. Like you hear
Yeah.
every story, like something that I might have not told about in the past might slip out, or we might be talking about a topic that was never covered before, and I just say some shit that you've never heard, which will probably happen in the future. Like people who listen to the
Oh,
podcast religiously or try to watch everyone will probably learn more stuff about me that I won't say in the stream.
and I'm
Yeah,
sure everybody's gonna hear me, like actually hear me a lot more from this
yeah,
point on, and like I'm sure I'll tell all sorts of other crazy stories. I actually do have quite a few of them. Most of them are mine. Some of them are other people's stories, but God, man, I've known some crazy freaking people, like some real weirdos.
Explain one of them. Like there's really no time limit to this, so we can kind of just go until you want to get off. So
this this dude was pretty cool, actually. This dude was a good kind of weirdo. Everybody called him Grandpa Woodstock. I was living in this little town called Bisbee in Arizona. It's in southern Arizona, down near the Mexican border, and they had this like at the time it was abandoned. I'm pretty sure they restarted operations, but they had this giant open pit copper mine where they were just mining copper out of the ground.
yeah,
But this town was so old, it had been there for so long that like the historic district was still there, but then it had spread out. But I lived in the historic district, and there was
yeah,
this old man that lived there. I mean, he had like the gray Gandalf beard going on and the long hair, and he was all dressed up like he was going to Woodstock. That's why everybody called him Grandpa Woodstock.
yeah,
You know, he looked like he was coming out of some kind of a hippie festival every day. But he lived in a cave up on one of the mountains. He lived in a freaking cave by himself. He wasn't a hermit because he would come down to the town every day. But he lived in the cave because he wanted to. But the dude was rich. He was absolutely loaded because he had been in business for a long time.
yeah.
But at a certain point, he was just like, "Fuck this shit. I'm done." So he stopped. He was done. He got out of the business and he just started living in a cave on the freaking mountain. But he was like the chillest dude ever.
Jeez.
I mean, I was a little kid, so
Yeah,
I couldn't at the time. I didn't really appreciate how cool this guy actually kind of was. But
yeah.
yeah, dude was a character, you know.
I'm trying to think of people in my life that were some characters. Like for the most part, like the town I grew up in, we were all normal. Like in terms of like what you think the average American or the average Midwestern person was, but like we had in our high school, crazy thing happened. People from my high school are listening to this; they obviously know about it. But like, we had couple kids in our grade. They all lived relatively close to me. I know one of them was like a couple streets down. They all got into. Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I heard like a doo doo. I think someone
Yeah.
might have.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay,
I'm
we're
here.
good. All right. So, like these three kids that are in our grade, they all hung out a lot, and one night they went in one of the kids' cars. I don't want to like give any names, so I'm going to be pretty generic. And we have a bunch of like back roads and stuff, and one of the guy who's driving, tried to go as fast as he could on these back roads, and one of them I
Oh,
can't
I
remember.
know all about that.
Yeah, he went like 100 miles an hour, something crazy like that. Like he was going flying, literally. Like his car was like in the air half the time because there was like little hills up and down. I've had that happen before, going a little over the speed limit in the back hills. You get some of these like jumps in, and I couldn't even imagine going 100.
Dukes of Hazzard shit.
But yeah, like it's been this happened like junior year, so it's been a while. So I don't know exactly what happened. I don't want to like say it wrong, but basically, car was backing up from their house. It was an old couple, and they collided, and sadly, one of the elderly people died, and it was in a town where not a lot of stuff happens. Something like that sticks around, and all the kids were hospitalized. All of them went to the hospital. They all kind of got released a little bit earlier than the other one, but one of them was in there for a while, the driver, and I'm trying to remember. I think it was the husband. I think it was the wife that passed away. The husband was still around, but he was hurt, and all the kids in the family hated the kid we went to high school with now. Like, wanted him in jail, wanted him max charges, all this stuff, and so much hatred, and we thought he was going to be away for good. We thought he'd be away for a while, and we're like, what the heck? Like, this happened out of nowhere.
They usually don't.
Yeah.
I mean, something similar happened at my own high school, and they didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, he had to do some time, but I mean, they didn't put him under the prison or anything.
What ended up happening is, I believe the husband, he was a religious guy, I believe, and he forgave the kid who drove, which was a great thing. He forgave him. He said, it sucks that it happened. I miss my wife, but like, to kind of get through this, you have to get past it. If someone did that, do I believe they should go to prison for their crime? Yes, to a certain extent, but this kid was a smart kid. He had a whole life ahead of him, and he didn't really make many mistakes. This was his one mistake. Like, everyone has those fuck ups where you just wish you could take back. This kid's fuck up cost a life. So what ended up happening is he had to go to jail for a period of time. But what would happen is he would be able to like work and go to school. So I think he still does it. He worked at the movie theater, so every time we'd go to the movie theater, we'd see a cop car in front, and we're like, why is there a cop car there? We're like, oh, this kid's probably working. Yeah, you'd go in, he'd be at the front table. You haven't seen him in like a year, so you're like, hey man, how's it going? Like, just small talk you do at school. And like, this kid was always a jokester, and he still was. He'd be like, oh, just working, about to go to prison later. How about you? And it was always one of those things where it's like, bruh, like, how do you respond to that, especially with your parents there? It's like,
it's like the best attitude to have about something like that. Like,
so I believe he went
you screwed up, dude. You made a big ass mistake, and
I think he went to like the technical
really
college too.
I mean, the best thing you can do is be like, well, I mean, I screwed up. Gotta take responsibility,
Like, I'm a firm believer of
just do it with a smile.
I'm a firm believer of, yes, you should learn from what you did, but I don't always think that the answer is max punishment, never seeing life again, because you're not only taking one life at that point, you're taking two. Like, this kid has a whole future ahead of him, and yes, he made a mistake that cost a life, but he can still be an active member of society, and he has so much to offer, and I don't know.
I agree. Like, I mean, putting people... There's nothing to gain from putting people away for long periods of time, unless... I mean, there's some shit that's, like, just so fucked up that you just... that you gotta go away. But, I mean, someone like that, you're so young. You know what I mean? I don't know how old this guy was at the time, but
Junior
I mean,
year of high
very
school.
young.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
just about
Like
to go off to college.
shit, when I was like 17, 18, I did so much dumb shit, and it's like you don't even think about it when you're that age, because like
Yeah.
your brain isn't even fully developed until you're like 25. You know?
Yep.
I mean, people don't even think about shit like properly until they're well into adulthood. And this
Hmm.
guy's like, I'm guessing he was 18 at the time or
Yeah.
very close to it, anyways.
I think he was
Yeah, like
close to 18, but
make
like in
it.
terms of charges, they're trying to maximize as an adult. So, like I remember, yeah, I think he was about to turn 18 because he was in my advisory, and my like advisory teacher, which is basically like a study hall. My advisory teacher was the coach of the women's soccer team, but he also taught at the school. He was like the laws person, so he taught like history courses, but he also taught like laws of the United States, whether they be like constitutional or like dealing with like murders and all this stuff. So he went to him all the time. It was like, what's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen? How could I get out of it? All this shit. And I remember hearing some of the talks, and he basically said to him, he's like it all depends on what the family wants, but if the family wants to push hard enough, they can basically take everything from you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty see, I wish I knew more about like exactly how the proceedings go, but as far as I know, pretty much they're gonna go with whatever the prosecutor says.
Yep.
You know.
From what I know about there's even though that's like awful, like things like that where people die is awful. Some other ones that's absolutely have to be horrendous are divorces. I've heard some awful divorce stories
Oh
where
man, yeah.
it's like because
That's
you're with someone you think you're going to
I
spend the
wouldn't wanna
rest of
have
your
that
life
fucking
with,
job.
you're sharing everything together, and then you break up, you get a divorce, and you have to somehow split it. Like the thing is, I remember
I would not want to have
I
that.
think it was a
job, dude.
podcast I was listening to. I wish I could remember who it was. If someone knows who I'm thinking about, let me know. But basically, he got a divorce and he didn't hire a lawyer, and his like ex-wife's lawyer was like talking to him. Was like, "Are you getting someone to represent you or whatever?" Blah blah blah. And his response was like, "No, I don't think there should be an argument. I think we're both two sane people and we can agree on what we had before, what we built before we had each other. We don't want to take anything kind of away from each other. We want it to be like what we earned is what we get." And then like the guy's like, "I think that's the best decision you've probably made in your life, because once you hire a lawyer and you're both going at it, things can get really ugly, and then people can start
Oh yeah.
legally taking a lot of stuff."
Because at that point it's just me, and nobody's thinking about the fact that
Then
at the end of this you both
Yep.
have to be able to sleep at night.
imagine throwing kids into it too. Imagine fighting over custody. Where are the kids going to go? What money goes towards the kids? Because if you have college funds, if you have to start paying to raise these kids now, but you never get to see them, that has to be one of the worst things in the world. Having to pay.
My parents split up when I was a kid, but there was no battle. They didn't battle. They pretty much came to an agreement on how things were gonna go very quickly.
Yeah.
So I really don't understand personally how custody battles kind of go.
Yeah.
I've never had to witness that personally.
We've kind of gone on like not necessarily sad, but like a sad, almost, yeah, sadder topic. Let's try to finish up with like something good. Have any ideas of something good you want to share, or maybe something really funny that's happened in your life or something, or
I want to share.
we'll kind of leave it to you. What do you want to end with? This is kind of up to you now. If you want to know something from me, let me know.
And well, we don't want to end with something sad.
We'll have this, and
Well.
then I'll end it with asking you a question that I think I'm going to start asking more people who come on this question to end it with. But keep thinking
Okay.
of your thing.
Um, I can't really. Nothing's coming to mind really that I want to say. Really, it's just
All
I
right.
just
I
I'm
guess
just
we
happy
can.
to be here
Yeah.
and finally be able to talk and interact with you directly. Instead of having to do it through a text
Yeah.
message on a keyboard.
I think during the summer too, we play more Minecraft, more PC games. There's a lot more opportunities where we can get Discords open and get like people in and stuff. But I think the question I'm gonna end with you, and I'll either end or start or somewhere in between do with other people, is what is one thing on the channel that you like whether it's a series, whether it's like live streams, something in particular that you like about the channel, and then what sort of video or stream idea would you love to see? It could be something you've seen already or an idea you've always wanted to see me do, or even like a critique, something you wish I would do.
So I'm sorry. Go through that again.
Yeah,
I'm
so
sorry.
it's kind of like two parts. One of them, the first one, you can answer either way you want, but first one, what's something you really like enjoy about the channel or the community, uh, and then off of that too, what is either a video idea or stream idea or just idea in general you would love to see me do either with the channel or for the channel or just in general, like.
My favorite part about the MumboElite channel and the Elite Army is uh, the most obvious answer is the community. I just love all the people that I've met through the channel. Not just the moderators and whatnot, but
Yeah.
I even enjoy meeting all the people that kind of come and go through there.
Yeah.
I'll see people pop in that I haven't seen in there in months. But I recognize their name still because I've seen it
Mm-hmm.
before on there, and they think that nobody recognizes them. Oh, nobody knows who I am, but I know who you are. I recognize you.
Yeah.
But like that's my favorite part is just, I mean, all of you guys and gals. I don't want to be, I
Attack
don't want to be
helicopters.
discriminatory.
Do you
I
just
don't wanna,
assume
I
there's
don't wanna
only two
assume gender.
genders?
Uh, yeah, I'm not gonna assume any genders here. But just meeting all of you is the freaking best because I mean, I do have some friends in person, but
Yeah.
I've always kept my friend group very small, so it's
Yep.
I don't know, it's nice to feel like I'm a part of a large group,
Yeah.
and just everybody's really tight knit and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's just very accepting and
Yeah. Like, let me butt in real quick because I just want to say something off of that. You talked about you said you have your in real life friends, and you have this too. What I think is crazy about this is, yeah, we might not have the most people come in the stream. Most streams we normally peak around 20, but averagely we have normally 10 or less at a time. We'll get a decent
Yeah.
amount of views, but like, I think we get to have quality conversations with the people in there. It can be great. But like, thinking about all the people who came by the channel, if you saw them in person, imagine how many different people we've connected with throughout the years. That'd be freaking crazy, bro. Like, so many friends we've met,
Trip
so many
out.
people. Yes, a lot of them would probably be younger, a lot of kids, a lot of squeakers,
Yeah,
but
there'd be a lot of squeakers,
yeah,
man. Which, hey,
it happens, man. Like, and I don't know if
everybody
you
has to
know.
be at a point in their life.
Yeah, I don't know if you know Courage. Have you heard of the name Courage at all? He was a codcaster, and now he does Fortnite streaming. Have you
Who
heard
is
of him?
it?
Courage is his name. Is his Twitch name?
I don't think I know him. No.
He's in Optic Gaming now, but he was a codcaster, and he switched to Fortnite. He kind of stopped doing that, focused on streaming, and he played with Ninja. And what Courage is best known for is he does like these random duos, where he'll get paired with random people in the world, and most of them are little kids, and he'll play with them. He'll play with them and basically try to help them get their first win. And one of them was this like little squeaker kid who never won before. I think his name's Jeffrey, and he gets him like a win. Then they start playing with each other, and it becomes kind of like a meme on the channel. And then they start playing together more, and then Courage decides he wants to get in contact with his father and send him like a bunch of gaming stuff. And so like everyone like loved Courage for that. But then like someone asked Courage, like he got, I think it was a donation, and someone asked him, and he was like, that's great that you're playing with kids and everything, but I don't understand how you can like be around these toxic people all the time, all these little squeakers. And then Courage is like, to be honest with you, like, he's like, I view it this way. People's perception of kid gamers is that they're all toxic, they're all annoying, they're all squeakers. And if that's how we treat them for eternity, if we look at little kids as they have nothing to offer, that's all they're ever going to be. And they're going to grow up thinking that they're toxic. And then they're going to be toxic. He's like, we got to teach them early on that they can do this if they want to possibly do this as a job or want to pursue this. And just online in general, be people of power online. Like, they got to be shown the right way. And I respect him so much for doing that, because it's like, I never even realized that. There's so many little kids that I'll come across who I don't even think twice. Yes, I try to help a lot of them, but there's some who just piss me off to the extent where it's like, I'm going to shut you up because you're just a little kid. Like, I'm not going to let you wreck my day. But, yeah. Argus? Hello? Alright. I think something happened with the call, guys. Argus is no longer here. His mic must have cut out or something happened. If he comes back in to say goodbye, great. But if not, we're just going to end it here. If you guys would like to be in a future podcast of the Elite Army, let us know. We'd love to get new people on. I have some ideas of new people to get on, some returning people to get on. But anyone you think would be good on the podcast, if you'd want to see someone who maybe is another YouTuber get on that I could possibly collab with, let me know. I'm always down to get new people in. But be honest, did you guys enjoy this? Do you like it a little longer like this? I know podcasts are more for some people over everybody, and that a lot of people will not like it, but the people who do like it really like it. So, if we get in calls like this, we'll do hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, and it'll fly by like crazy. So let me know. We'll try to do it live sometime too, so we'll set that up in the future. But thank you, Argus, for coming on. And we'll sign out. It's been your boy, MumboElite, and we'll see you next time. Peace.